Hi everyone, it's me again. Just got off of hell, my hell of a Thursday. Hope everybody's Thursday went well, and I hope that you walked out of your job and said, you know what, let's brush this off. Let's go on to a new day. I really couldn't. Um, got off a hell call that I had with a bitch from hell. She was a true mean devil bitch, um, with $1 million home, mind you, harassing a menial worker like me that only wants to help people as an advocate, trying to help someone get care that they're requesting and try to treat them with the ultimate respect that I think that they deserve. This woman deserved no respect. She was an absolute horror of a person. Treated me like I was beneath her, like I was shit on somebody's ass. I get her on the line. She is a vet, mind you, a doctor, supposedly. Um, I did look her up because that's what I do. I used to do skip tracing all the time, and I'm really good at investigating people. So I did do some lookup after I got her on the phone because I really think there was something clinically wrong with her brain, and she had extreme emotional problems. I did find out within the call that she had a baby recently at the age of 49 years old. So I don't know if that was her problem, that she's depressed. I don't get it. I don't know why you call a company and belittle the person that's on the other line like you think you're better than that person. She also had a UK accent from Montana. So I don't know if she was a Trump supporter. I did try to look that up as well, but I was not able to find that. But I'm pretty positive that she may be a Trump supporter. I know that I would never treat somebody the way that she treated me. She actually called in, and I knew right off the bat the call was going to be crazy. She mispronounced my name, asked me if it was something else. Emmy? I don't even know what that is. Why she would think that was my name. I could tell that she was trying to not portray her UK accent, but when she got angry or nasty with me, the UK accent came out. I know that she immigrated over here, so I don't know if she thinks that she's like above, whatever. If she thinks she's better than people because she came from UK. I don't know. But you're a visitor here, okay? I don't think people should be deported, that are here, but, legally. I don't like what they're doing with Donald Trump. I hate that. But you are here as a visitor. You should be treating people with respect, just like everybody else. I treat people with respect. I'm not a visitor, but I do treat people with respect regardless. She treated me like I was nothing. I got off the phone with her. I had a massive panic attack. I couldn't even proceed on to the next call because I had a massive panic attack. She was so mean to me that I had a panic attack. I already have PTSD. I'm going through so much right now, and that happened. So let me tell you exactly what happened. So I get on the phone with her, psycho bitch. And at first, like I said, she mispronounced my name. She said, "Is your name Emmy?" I never said that. I said no. And she's like, "I don't have my card number. Can you look me up?" And I said, "Yeah, sure, I can look you up." So I begin to get her information. She pretends like she doesn't know what her ID number is. She's been with us for over 4 years. I'm sure you know what your fucking ID number is. So she begins to proceed with giving me her information, but then stops and then gives me, well, I see a group number. I see this. Oh. And then she starts giving me her ID number. So I take that down. I get in the system. I said, are you calling about yourself? I'm calling about my family. So I have to verify all the accounts. So she gives me her family. I have to verify each one. So I didn't do that. I just verified her, because then she goes and proceeds to telling me that she has therapy questions. She wanted me to look to see if I can see an email, which I couldn't see any email that was sent because it was done through behavioral health. I do not work for that department, which I told her that. I probably told her that 4 times in the call. She did not listen. Then she proceeded, after I told her I would need to get her over to behavioral health, she did not want to be transferred because she knew she called the wrong number. And typically when they call the wrong number, they get overseas, the right number, I'm sorry, they get overseas people, which are the main people that they speak with. So she didn't want to do that. She thought I was going to have to transfer over there, which cracked me up because she's an immigrant. So anyways, so I tried to get her over to behavioral health, and then all of a sudden she comes out of nowhere and goes, hold on. So you don't do occupational therapy either? Did I fucking say I didn't do occupational therapy, psychopath? I said I don't do behavioral health. With you being a vet, you should know that. You're in occupational therapy for dogs and animals. You should know that. I'm talking about behavioral health like psychotherapy. I'm not talking about speech therapy and fucking physical therapy and occupational therapy, psychopath. I'm talking about behavioral health like psychotherapy. So I tell her, yes, I do that. Well, then I need to go ahead and get information about that. And the provider is out of network. So I go into her benefits and I explain to her that what her co-insurance is and what her deductible is. That her deductible was showing a high deductible. And that she has like $1,800 left over to pay on that. On her portion, I didn't check the other 2 children because she didn't tell me that she wanted me to check them. So I didn't check them. I looked up her information, I looked up the family information, and it saw the family information was showing like $1,500 left for deductible and like $1,500 left for co-insurance. So she was upset about me not explicitly telling her right off the bat what the cost was. I told her what the deductible was and the co-insurance was. I told her that everything would be covered out of pocket if she meets her out of pocket co-insurance. Both her co-insurance and her deductible would be covered at 100% for out of network and in network. So she took that and rolled with it for the procedure for the occupational therapy. She did not listen to what I had to say. That was for her whole insurance. That was not for the specific procedure. Because each procedure could be a percentage, which it was correct. Her percentage, she hasn't met her deductible yet, so it would be 60% after deductible. She would have to pay 100% of the allowable amount, which I did tell her that. She did not listen. So I explained this after I came back and she wailed on me. But before this, I said, did you want me to go ahead and go over the details with you? She's like, yeah, so you can place me on hold then. Like telling you what I could do. The whole thing was flipping ridiculous. It was off the charts. She was like telling me what I could do. And then goes, well, I need you to check and see if an email is sent. And I couldn't find this fucking email because I'm not behavioral health, which I told her that. I said, let me see what I can do. I don't have the same system as them, but I will look. And I put her on hold. And then I call over to behavioral health and I'm like, okay, I'll just do everything in one thing. I'll call them, I'll bring her on, I'll explain to her about the occupational therapy, that it's covered at 60% after the deductible, and she gets so many visits. So I get back on the phone with her, and I don't know why she didn't understand that that's what I was checking on, but this bitch had a massive chip on her shoulder, like she thought she was better than me. So I get back on the phone with her, I explained to her that, and then I said, she goes, I wrote down that you said it was 100% after I pay my deductible. And I said, I did not say that. And she's like, yes, you did. I have it written down. And then tried to get argumentative with me. And I just said, I'm so sorry. If that's what I stated, I apologize, but that's not what I meant. I did place you on hold to check this. She knew that's why I placed her on hold. Why would I have placed you on hold for anything else? I told you that's the reason why I was placing you on hold, so I could check into it for you. You psycho. So the behavioral health person was on the line with us, and she's listening to this. And we're going back and forth. And she's like, so it is 100%? And I said, no, that's for in-network, and you have no deductible. So does that mean I don't have a deductible? And I explained to her again what it was. She's like, so does that mean I don't have a deductible? And I said, I just said, no, ma'am. And she's like, no, you went around the question. And actually I said, yes, I'm sorry, not no. So after that, I go into the information regarding the other part that we were going to discuss about, which was not that part. It was me trying to basically get her connected over for the behavioral health part. Well, she didn't want to do that. She wanted to speak again about the 60%. So you're telling me, and before all this happened, she got nasty with me and then said, did you not hear what I said? I said, yes, ma'am, I did hear what you said. Well, you didn't say yes. I said, I did say yes. Well, you went around the question. So she's trying to pick at me, trying to get me to say something or do something incorrectly so that she could try to get free service. So after that happened, and she nitpicked me about the 60%. So she wanted to know if everything was cut, if she had to pay 100% prior to the 60% after deductible. So I said, I went ahead and explained to her again, obviously you would have to pay 100% of the allowable amount, but we're not allowed to tell them yes or no. We have to say, yes, you'll pay 100% after the allowable amount. So I didn't know how to word that correctly. I kind of just repeated what I said. And she goes, did you not understand what I said? I said, yes, ma'am, I did understand what you said. But you're not listening. So I said, you know what? I said, behavioral health, can you chime in here? I'm not really wording this correctly. Maybe you can assist, because I knew she was getting nasty with me. I knew she was trying to bait me into something. So I let behavioral health chime in, and she goes, so behavioral health, does that mean it's 100% I'd have to pay? And she said, yes. And I'm sitting here thinking, no, it's not. You have to say it's 100% you would pay of the allowable charge. I didn't say anything. I just let her do it. And she goes, so you can take the call and talk to me so I don't have to talk to her. Excuse me? Are you fucking kidding me? I have never been talked to like that. Mind you, I get compliments on every call. I get over complimented on my calls. This stupid Trump supporting bitch from United Kingdom wanted to rip me because I worded things not how she wanted. So I said, I can't really, she said she couldn't really help with that. And I said, ma'am, if you do want to speak with escalations, I can get you connected over. Because I had a feeling that she's already dealt with escalations. She is a frequent flyer to call in and complain. She's a bitch. She has too much time on her hands. She's a psychopath, and I think she might be going through some sort of midlife crisis. She had a baby at 49, which is crazy. That is insane. You got $1 million house thinking you're freaking Betty Crocker. And she loves the Lord so much, but yet she's a complete crazy bitch. So, after this happened, I put her on hold. I was going to connect her over to escalations, so I got her to escalations. Before I did that, though, I said, behavioral health, you're going to have to disconnect, so I have to bring the other caller online. She goes, no, she doesn't. You can move on to your next call. I can talk to her while we're on hold. Excuse me? Now, you're not going to sit here and tell me what I'm going to fucking do, you psychopath. So, I put the bitch on hold. I get escalations. I'm fuming at this point because I'm having to apologize to a complete psychopath. And mind you, I'm sitting here thinking about my survey that I'm pretty positive she's going to give me zeros on. And it's going to affect my bonus and the money that I bring into my house. So I let her treat me like shit while I sit there and eat everything that she's saying to me like a little bitch. And I wanted to sit there and strangle the bitch. So I finally got the bitch off the phone. I sat back and I lost it. I had the most crazy panic attack I've ever had in my life. I'm sitting here sobbing at my desk like, I can't do this anymore, God. You've got to get me out of this job. I've got to find something else. This cannot be my life right now. This cannot be what I've wanted to do my whole life. Is to be in this god-awful position. I just have to eat it. I have to eat the shit. I have to eat the shit that they give me because that's my life. I have to continue to eat the shit. So this psychopath can shit on me. And I just take it. I take it and I take it and I take it because I have no other options. Because there is no other option for me. I didn't have enough money to go to college. I made poor decisions and I did not have the money to do it. I had to work my whole life. I want to go back to college. I can't. I don't have the funds. So, I'm sorry to be so emotional. But it was uncalled for. The way that I was treated was like a fucking piece of garbage. And I knew she was trying to halt her accent. It's like you're in America and you're acting like that, and I know you're an immigrant. I love immigrants. I love America, whatever. I love people that come over here, you know. But you're gonna sit there and treat me like that. I did nothing wrong to you. I didn't come to your country and do that. You came to mine acting like a psycho. You were given all the amenities here, $1 million house. And you're gonna sit there and treat me like that. Fuck you. Fuck you. Stupid old bag. So that's what I'm dealing with right now. Sorry if I got emotional. Sorry if I got too truthful about things. But somebody's got to do it. Signing off. Have a great Thursday, everyone. Forgive me if I've been rude. Peace out.